Hey guys, I'm SyDe and I'm here to show you a replay breakdown of one of my replay of an Undead versus Nightelf match that happened on later. So I originally I wanted to do a Dreadlord replay, but unfortunately since we had a patch recently that broke most of the replays, I couldn't get that one. But I'm gonna showcase a similar game here. So the idea is gonna go on Echo Isles against Night Elf. The expansion creep is pretty easy to do, so I'm gonna show you how to do that with a test knight first, because Dreadlord can also work versus Night Elf, but it's a bit harder to make use of him because of well, Demon Hunter and Mana Burn. So first, the build order, you open it with Crypt and Altar, and you make one Acolyte, so you end up at 4. And once you have 150 gold, you're gonna make your ziggurat as soon as possible. That means you're gonna be able to produce ghouls quickly and also have a quick hero. Next is it's gonna be the 5th acolyte, because you do want to be at 5 acolyte as fast as possible. Alright, so the ghoul is harvesting lumber. Ideally, like the closer as possible to the necropolis. That way you can harvest lumber a bit faster, even though it doesn't matter so much, honestly. So I'm gonna make a 6 acolyte because it's not always necessary, but it's nice to know what your opponent is doing. I could like skip it and make more ghouls because I would stay on even number of supply, but yeah, I think it's better to make an extra acolyte, make a Tomb of Relics, and then make a ghoul, and the acolyte is just either gonna kill a ship or scout. I decide to go for some scouting. Because basically night elves, they can go for different strategies. It can be neutral hero, it can be keeper, it can be demon hunter. So it's nice to know what's happening. Could even be warden. So we see a wisp scouting, but no surprise yet. At this moment I'm still making ghouls. I'm at 17, so I'm gonna be making a ziggurat as soon as possible. Yeah, 17 out of 20. I'm gonna keep making ghouls. There's 90 is coming as well. So I'm scouting. I see his enchanted wise here. So it could be creeping quickly and then harassing. That could be dangerous. Because sometimes they also, on Echo Isles, night elves can also do that creep camp here. That is not the case here, so I'm just roaming around, waiting for his hero to pop up. And I see a Demon Hunter. I'm gonna try to block him, but that's definitely not necessary. Just fancy plays. Now that SI is out, I'm selling the TP. I'm buying Rod of Necromancy and Sacrificial Skull. Ideally, you do want to buy 2 Sacrificial Skull because playing versus Night Elf, they can use their Wisp to dispel the skull. So I would recommend going for another one, especially because, as you can see, I have like quite a bit of money because I'm supply block. So it's fine to buy another Sacrificial Skull. So I'm gonna kill the sheep here, summon some skeletons. I'm leaving my first acolyte here, as you can see. That way I know if my opponent is coming or not. So I'm using the 4 ghouls. I think if you're not playing Dreadlord, if I had Dreadlord I would take 3 ghouls, but I would recommend taking 4 ghouls. That makes creeping faster and easier, meaning you lose less HP and like you have more room to for you because yeah, you're just gonna creep faster. Anyway, you kill the sheep, drop the sacrificial skull. Thankfully I killed the wisp. Sometimes Night Elf might have 2 wisps around the expand, so you just gotta be a little bit careful. So I should be making ghouls right now. I'm a bit sloppy, but you should always be making ghouls. And the first building you want to make at the expand is a ziggurat that allows you to have a quick Nerubian, because that's very important if you want to prevent like a rush or something. Nerubian, like basically Night Elf can't do anything anymore. With my first acolyte, as you can see here, I'm also scouting because Night Elves, they have basically a few answers to a fast expand from Undead, since they saw me with this Wisp here. They can either stay tier 1 and go for Hunter's Hold plus another Ancient of War. That would mean like lots of entrances, probably APs, Ancient Projectors, and like Glaives, so trying to tower rush and kill my expand. Or they can either like tech and get like second hero and like basically expand later. Or they could even like instantly expand as well. But as I see here, my opponent is just taking, so I know I don't have to be afraid. For example, if it was tier 1, I would like make a quick, after I make 5 Acolyte in my gold mine, make a quick graveyard and a second crypt. Because you want to stay tier 1, you want to make a lot of units to defend his attack. Right now, he's not going to do that, so there's no need to be afraid. I just need to be defending here. I called the Wisp because he was about to detonate and I had a lot of skeletons. And now I'm just like a little bit of micro, not too hard. I don't have much mana. But yeah, just keep making ghouls. Should be making a gold mine as soon as possible once I have enough lumber, which should be soon. I have 202, that's 210. But there's not much you can do, right? Yes, like if you're not sure, like if the demon hunter is still roaming and you don't have a necropolis, you don't have to make the gold mine straight away unless you're confident. But it's very easy to cancel a gold mine, so well, be careful. But I guess now that I'm putting a bit of pressure on my opponent, I should be able to throw it on that gold mine. Then I'm, as you can see, still making ghouls. I have a lot of ghouls at home already, 5. But it's really important to keep making ghouls. So I'm sending back that ghoul that was following an archer. And another thing is you should always be scouting. You need to know where your opponent is. If he's trying, like, for example, my opponent could be running around and be coming to cancel my gold mine. That's not the case, but you never know. So scouting is always really important. I'm making a quick second trip. It's not very necessary at that point, but it's nice. Like you have a lot of money, so you can spend it. I'm going for backpack because I want Rod of Necromancies to scout. I saw that my opponent was here creeping that one, so he might be going for a counter expand. That's why, since I used all of my initial Rod of Necromancy, I do wanna bring another one without having to walk all the way back home because I would lose a bit of time. So instead I just use backpack because it's a pretty cheap upgrade to have. So it's always important to have 5 acolyte. I'm at only 3 now, I'm making a bit more for now. I'm gonna keep creeping because you want to reach that level 3 as fast as possible as well, and then you can have access to mercs, which are very nice when you're fast expanding because you're gonna be flooding a lot of gold. I'm not really scouting, but I should be scouting his expand. I think I'm gonna do that now. Yep. Alright, 5th acolyte. Took a while, but it's okay. So second cigarette at the expand. Now that I'm level 3, I'm scouting his main base and his expand. But what you want to do in that meantime, you keep making ghouls, cannibalism. It's nice to take as soon as you have 5 acolytes you can take basically, if you feel safe enough. So yeah, skeleton sees that it didn't do that one. So it could be on the east side of the map. I'm not sure, but most likely. Graveyard pretty quickly because graveyard allows you to go for upgrade and go for spirit tower. Because Nerbian tower is nice, but you don't want too many Nerbian tower. So I'm scouting his main base. I don't see any tier 2 building, just that he's tier 2 and he's not taking yet. So that implies probably an expand because if I don't see any production building, I see my opponent is not taking yet. He has to spend his money somewhere. So I assume there is an expand. We'll find out pretty soon, and there is one indeed. It's almost done because I took my time creeping that spot, the Mercamp here on the right. So if I didn't, I might have been able to cancel his expand if I went straight away, but yeah, that happens. So his expansion finishes, I cannot cancel it, so I'm just gonna destroy the gun mine and leave because there's not much I can do here. That's fine, it delays him a little bit. You just don't want to lose too many units if you can avoid it. I'm pretty rich, I should be making ghouls. What am I doing? This point I just want to delay him as much as possible. You know, it takes some time since usually as Undead you would not fast expand. You would take pretty quickly, so you get your sweet timing attack around like 8 to 9 minutes. But since I'm expanding, everything is different. timing attack is different, so sometimes it takes a bit of time to think about what to do. Anyway, I go into his main and I see that he's making a shop, cancels it. I'm just gonna go for some Wisp harass. I don't really need to creep now, even though I could. I'm going for attack upgrade and armor upgrade on my goals because I plan to go for necromancers. Necropolis at the expansion is very nice. Spirit Tower as well. A shop would be also a good idea. I'm flooding a lot of resources right now, as you can see, because I don't really need more ghouls as of now. I just want my tier 2 buildings and take to tier 3 most likely. That's pretty much all you need. I'm gonna deny the skeleton, but not very important. That's 12 XP. It's nice, but not mandatory. Now that I'm tier 2, I take straight to tier 3. I make double Temple of the Dam and a Slug Gyros at my expand. Why I de-expand? So basically, the two Temple of the Dam here are pretty safe at the back of the base. But if I make a Slug Gyros, I guess I could have put it here. But if I put it here, it's gonna be pretty exposed. Even though it's unlikely that my opponent is gonna be aggressive now. I think most likely he wants to creep. But it's nice to have it here. I believe that's alright. So I am making a trap at the expand. When you construct a building as Undead, you should always summon it and shift right click the gold mine. That way your acolyte doesn't stop and wait. Alright, so I'm making more upgrades because I'm still rich. I don't want to go over 50 too quickly anyway. I see that my opponent is creeping. I'm just gonna try to be a little bit annoying, even though I'm not planning to do any damage. But I have boots, I have an early aura, so I'm fine. I picked up the item. That was unlucky for him. He wasn't really happy about it. Dispels the skeleton, but it's fine. He's taking a his Naga is still level 2. He has a Wisp scouting. That's pretty unlikely and that's pretty well done of him. I was afraid of him attacking, so I made 2 towers in my base. No, I'm still going for upgrades, so my ghouls are 1-1. We're going for Necromancers upgrades. 1 statue first. Because you want statue to give mana to your Necromancers. He was expecting gargoyles. I just said he just played versus Madfrog with 100 supply of gargoyles. I guess that's why he went for a quick enchant of protector, but obviously it's not necessary in that case. So now that I have my upgrades on necromancers, I'm gonna make more of them. Once I make a statue, I'm going for Midwagon. Because Midwagon, you need to brim corpses. Necromancers, they work really well, but you do need the corpses. That's why you need a quick Midwagon, and then you need the Exhum corpses upgrade, which generates corpses every X seconds. I'm not sure exactly how many seconds. Now I'm breaking up Cape. I have a good amount of money and it's almost time to attack him. I'm just trying to get Wisp around the map. Because Wisps are really good against that strategy as well. Once I'm tier 3, I'm gonna go for Frenzy upgrade. I'm gonna go for, as you can see, Exhum corpses. A second Midwagon, not so necessary, but it's also nice. So Necromancer's Master is actually pretty important. Gives you like more mana, and also Cripple is a pretty sweet ability. So my Jess Knight has just been running around all game long. More Necromancers on the way. My opponent is just crept on my side of the map. That was a bit annoying, but it's fine. Disease Cloud is also super important as an upgrade. It's probably one of the most important actually, when I think about it. Going for 3 attack upgrade. Pretty sweet. I do have Frenzy Ghouls now. I sold some items, got a Knob of Corruption and Scrub Filling. It's pretty nice to have. Even though Death Knight is not really meant to attack too much. But at least the Scroll of Filling is pretty mandatory. So now we keep making Necromancers. We do have double Midwagon. We're going for Disease Cloud. I'm at 66 or 70. Yeah, I'm already making another Ziggurat. Well done. Now it's time to attack. You have Frenzy Ghouls, you have Necromancer's Master, you have Disease Cloud, you have Midwagons, you have statues. my opponent is coming. Summon a bunch of skeletons and defend. I lost one necromancer, that sucks, but he might lose a dryad. Yep. Lost another one. That's also fine. As you can see, cripple is very nice. Like his attack is very limited now, and also he's super slow. I gets level 4, and the demon tries to TP. Actually, I didn't see my opponent is super rich. It doesn't really matter, even though if he spent his money. He did kill 2 necromancers and 1 midwagon. The midwagon is pretty annoying, but it's fine. Having so many ghouls also means they're gonna be nice to, well, basically, they do a lot of damage, but they also give a lot of corpses because they die pretty quickly. And now I can summon, so I like to summon skeletons a bit at the back, so I can send them around, you know, not in one block of units, even though they look pretty stacked right now. As you can see, they're a bit split, so a wisp wouldn't be necessarily able to dispel everything. You know, basically it's just attack plus click. Ideally, you want to select the skeleton mage and right-click the fairy dragon. Fairy dragons are really good against that strategy, and I don't have anything to attack air units, except like the Orb of Corruption is pretty nice on that. But yeah, that's basically it. No, I don't have any courses because I lost one midwagon, as you can see. If I had another one, I would be able to do pretty well. I made one gargoyle because of fairy dragons. It's not necessary, but why not? At this point, you can basically do whatever you want. You could switch to mass abominations because he's most likely gonna come into fairy dragons. You could go fiends. You could go frost realm, but it's not very nice because he has no bear. You could go mass ghouls. I already have 3-1 upgrade. I could make more upgrades. That would be nice too. Demon Hunter, pretty low. Scroll of Feeling used. We do have one gargoyle. Naga is in trouble, but TP'd away. We have double midwagon here. This knight gets level 5, and at this point I like to get aura level 3 because you don't have much mana. Need speeds everything up. And there it is. GG was gold. Then again, like if we look at the replay, my opponent stayed too long on 50 and forgot to break upkeep. As a Nightelf player, he wanted to go Chimeras, but I'm not sure if that's the right goal. I think double Enchant of Wind and Mass Fairy Dragon might have been better, you know. Killing the midwagon is pretty key. But ultimately what I wanted to show you guys is the power of fast expand from Undead. It's something we don't necessarily see at eye level, but it's very fun to play. And the thing I like the most about it is you're able to do whatever you, not really whatever you want, but you have a lot of possibilities. You don't have to go Death Knight Fiend statues every game. You can fast expand, you could go Mass Ghouls. Mass Ghouls would have worked really well here, but Necromancers is also a strategy I like a lot because you can overwhelm your opponent. I could have also gone like for Mass Gargoyles, that would have worked on 2 bases, it's pretty deadly. You can also go like double or triple Slaughterhouse, Abominations, Midwagons. You can basically do many different strategies, that's why it's so nice. Because playing the same strategy over and over might be boring for some people, like me, for example. So anyway, if you have any questions, make sure to leave comments on the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, leave your comments below. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye, thanks for watching.